Sup guys, it's Melon here. This time we're bringing you a special video. This video is quite spicy because, guys, Smilegate is giving us a Moonlight Selector. Not every MO, not all of them, not every MO5, but the original MOs that came out during the game. So we have the options of picking Arby, Melon, Dark Corvus, Ruel, S10A, Judge Kise, right? So these are our 6 options here. First, we're gonna have talk about from new players where you should approach from, how end game players should play, just how you should when and where you should be in the stages picking what unit, right? I'm gonna try to talk about every factor and how this should influence your picks, right? So first off, our unit, the unit that everybody's gonna most likely gonna go for is Arby. Arby is the one that I said recommend for not most players, but for newer players that are just starting the game and just came into the game, right? So guys, this is all coming on the 27th, so get ready to pick your units. It's all on the 27th. It drops the 27th. So again, Arby is the one for newer players that I recommend. People who are just starting the game off, who want a great PvE clear. You're gonna be not using your ML Terraria no more. You're gonna be straight up dropping here, and it's going to Arby. Arby is the fastest clear for your PvE content, one that can really speed up your gameplay, right? But also a lot of even mid game players, I would recommend Arby. Arby is a good way just to cheese your way to maybe even Masters RTA, right? I would recommend this if you're newer into game, still learning the game, and still want something to really just easily pick up, right? Arby is one of those units. Arby is something you can never go wrong with. If you don't have him yet, never hurts to pick him, right? People won't even mind if you don't have any of these 6. 8 new late new end game player, mid game players. Arby's fine for any content, right? Even if you don't have a Spectre or Ruel, I think that's fine too, right? Okay, so moving on, Melon is in a very weird spot where if you don't have any other units besides, if the only unit you have here is if you have every unit besides Judge Kise and Melon, I'll take Melon. So my opinion is, I'm gonna rank them here now. My opinion here is Spectre Team Beer first, Arby second, Ruel third, Dark Corvus fourth, Melon 5th, Judge Kise 6th. Melon is 5th because he still has some uses. He could still be played. It's still not extremely meta, but definitely it could still see play, right? He could still be used in RTA and be a force man. Arena, it seems like an easy arena sometimes, but the fact that there's a lot of units that can't be countered anymore kind of makes Melon a bit worse. There's LQC that could one-shot Melon, and they're just there's still horses, units like horses, Blue Crow and ML Crow, right? So a lot of these are kind of rough, right? You don't really want to bring Melon to a lot of these scenarios. So that's why I say Melon is still 5th on the tier list. I wouldn't pick him unless you don't have the last 2, right? Melon and Judge Kise. Okay, so the third one, Dark Corvus. Dark Corvus is the king of GVGs. He's the cancer toxic unit of RTA. Dark Corvus is purely just to punish players who don't have enough damage on their side. So someone you don't pick because you want to really win most, you're not gonna pick him consistently, let's say, but he's a unit you pick that wins you games where you might not be possible winning, right? He's a unit you pull out at the end and okay, so you have no damage dealers, I'm gonna pull out my Dark Corvus Ruel, or just Dark Corvus alone. That's already a big enough threat, right? That's a unit where okay, I have to ban this. That's why he's kind of viable right now, or always viable. And for GVGs, you could basically Dark Corvus any team, right? But let's be honest, guys. Dark Corvus is probably the king of GVGs. If you want to play or really get recruited into that GVG guild, or really up your games in GVG, if that is your main focus, guys, Dark Corvus is the unit. Besides that, there's other priorities on the list, right? There's so many good units here. I wouldn't really recommend Dark Corvus unless you already have the other good units, right? Alright, so for Ruel is one of those units that I even would recommend picking over Arby, but it's just she's not seen as often no more, right? Lately, Ruel has kind of been her pick and ban phase is kind of rising in popularity because the meta is kind of slowing down again. So I understand if you pick Ruel because you want to use Ruel for RTA, you want to use it for GVGs. She's even decent in arena, right? But Ruel, very solid pick in RTA. Sometimes you pick Ruel and you're forced to ban them because there's no sustain on the other team, right? If you run Ruel into the correct comp, she's really a threat to be reckoned with, right? I think even Ruel could sometimes be more viable than picking Arby. Arby is usually only there to punish the other player if they don't have enough mitigation or something, right? While Ruel is here because you want to sustain your team and just try to outlast the other team, right? So for higher rankers, you kind of could even pick Ruel over Arby, right? I wouldn't mind either one. Arby means you just have him, you don't have to always ban him, you don't have to be threatened. Ruel means you're in a comfortable spot even playing against certain comps, right? More like teams who don't have full sustain but not have that much damage either. Also, yes, the Ruel skin is coming, so something that you could look forward to as well. So Ruel is more for the mid to end game players, right? I wouldn't recommend new players to pick this. New players always Arby, no question about it. The other units aren't even a choice. Arby for new game players, in my opinion. Okay, so the next one is one of the powerhouses of RTA, Selector Tenebria. Selector Tenebria is insane. The fact that yes. So let me say this: the easiest unit to build here is Arby. Arby is the easiest build right now, and the second will be Selector. So if you guys are worried about, oh, I don't have the gear to use them, Arby is super simple to build. The next one will be Selector. The third will be like Ruel or Dark Harvest, right? The other two kind of just Kese are just two. I wouldn't recommend even building them in that way. Maybe you can, but Kese is not it, guys. You don't need to use Kese right now. But yes, back to Selector. Selector, one of the queens of the meta. Like, not even meta, but always a top tier unit. Always. I'm gonna say this, guys. If you have not been watching the World Cup, what are you doing? Watch the World Cup. But besides that, I think Selector had like almost 100% pick or ban phase. So they're either pre-banned 100% or they're either after the game post-ban, right? And probably in the game as well, right? So Selector is a unit. So for who don't know what Selector does, she cannot be targeted by single target attacks. She can only be not targeted as any like, oh, okay, Riot S3 can still hit her. That's not really you targeting. That's more RNG. But no one could really force you to just click on her and hit her. You have to be hitting with her AoE. So Selector is one of those units where if they don't have an answer to Selector, you basically win with Selector, right? That's kind of why Selector is like force ban all the time, or always pre-ban, because no one really has solid answers to her. And the fact that people are kind of shifting to a more tanky playstyle with her on lifesteal sometimes means that it's super hard to really pick her out of like just AoE her to death, right? Because sometimes they might run over healing, might run over like mitigation, or like just lifesteal in general, right? So it's really hard to really approach that Selector. But if they don't have her on, like even if you don't have her on that, say, tanky build, you can run her on a slight DPS build, right? And play more aggressive. A lot of people still run her quite aggressively, and you don't need to purely just go tank style, right? So for mid game to late game players who already have Arby or is thinking of transition to PvP, I really recommend just picking Selector over anyone else here. Selector is probably the one that you could really abuse at the higher end of levels of RTA, and just really, if you had to choose between Arby and Selector, the question is, are you a new game player just trying to play casually, doing your PvEs, sometimes RTA, sometimes Arena, or are you a late game player who really trying to push for the tops of RTA, right? That's where Selector is more on like higher on the other side, trying to push for the late game RTA. Well, Arby is kind of everywhere else, right? More balanced and more wanted in every other scenario, right? So this is kind of like choose your poison, right? Well, not really poison, but pick and choose your blessings. Let's say you want Selector, Arby. It's really up to you guys. But guys, I really recommend new players lean more to Arby, late game players lean more to Selector, right? Hey guys, and the last one on the list is Judge Kese. So, if this was like a year ago or a year and a half ago, I would say Judge Kese might be even on the top of this. But the fact that Cleve is dead, let's get that straight, guys. Cleve is dead. Maybe you could kind of live the copium life and live Arena. Maybe your Judge Kese could be popped off. I wouldn't recommend it, guys. I have a Judge Kese, she's plus 0'd. I pulled her, 6-starred her, awakened her. Never, ever used her. No reason for me to ever use her. Judge Kese in RTA may still be a threat with maybe your A-lots, but the fact that there's so many answers to Cleve means that your Judge Kese will rarely, maybe one in, unless you force her, guys, let's be real, you're not using your Judge Kese. But for Arena, I could see it. For GVGs, I can see it. But you can really cleave with any other unit, right? Judge Kese is not the one you want to use your your limited Moonlight connections on it, right? You don't want Judge Casey out of like the 6, let's say. If you don't have any of them, if you have all of them except for Judge Casey, sure. No, you do not farm with Judge Casey. Let me get this straight. You don't clear the waves fast enough. Just go with Arby. Arby's just the absolute best PvE farmer, just in general, right? Alright guys, I think I touched about everything here. What you should prioritize is, let me just TLDR this guys. My rankings will be either Spectre Team first, Arby second, Rel at a close third, Dark Corvus 4th, MLK 5th, Judge Casey 6th. Yeah guys, that's my RTA Moonlight Connections tier list or ranking wise, and why you should pick or choose which one. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. New game players, I hope you enjoyed the game, man. So it looks like Smile Gates are doing some really more new game friendly stuff. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, like the video, just comment, leave, like, subscribe, anything guys. Alright guys, hope to see you guys around. Later.